Hello! Fall is happening. I love fall. It is my favorite season, probably. The downside is I live in California. Fall used to be a wonderful time, and in more recent years, it is the season of like extremely devastating fires, forest fires, or just like towns burning down. So I thought I would go through my bookshelves. So sorry about that interruption. My anxiety is so fucking crazy high off the charts right now that I'm fearful for my life in my own house. A soda can may have dropped and exploded, and my books might be a little bit damp. I love this time of year, so I thought to make myself feel better from my crippling anxiety at the current moment, I would go through these books that I pulled from my shelves over there. I don't really have like horror. I don't even know how I would find that and like know that it was good. I'm like not really in that arena. I've read a few Stephen King's. I've read Hex and I thought it was really good. So I'm sure I will be getting some books from the library from watching some other recommendation videos. This is not a recommendation video. This is just books from my shelf that I think could fit the tone and that I might read in the coming months. Hi, I'm Jennifer and welcome to my library. I am a chaotic, neutral, mechanical engineer who's really into permaculture and wants to talk about books. So let's talk about books. The Raven and Other Poems by Edgar Allan Poe. This should fit the vibe. I feel like this would be a nice, read a poem once every night kind of thing. That could be a nice experience. So this book is missing a couple pages in the middle of the book, but it is The Mystery of the Moaning Cave, and this is an Alfred, Hitchcock, and the Three Investigators book. Why does a cave moan at night? The three investigators can't figure it out. And that's not all. What about El Diablo, the legendary bandit who keeps coming back to life? And where do the two old prospectors and the man with the eye patch fit in? So, it's just goofy, I guess. In a similar vein to this, I have Classic Ghost Stories by Willie Conkins, M.R. James, Charles Dickens, and others. So this could be fun. I read a collection of witch-associated short stories a while ago called Witch's Brew and had a really fun time with that, so I think this might be a similar vibe. I was going through a phase where I was reading a bunch of the Little House on the Prairie books. I read all of the ones that I own. I didn't go over those in my classics collection. The White Witch of Kynance by Mary Calhoun. It was in the back of the book like this. I was like, well, what's that? I want to read that. And I bought it. I don't know anything about it. Who was the White Witch? Why did the villagers shun her? All the villagers were afraid of her except for Janet. Janet, who dreamed of spirits and spells. Janet, who dared to learn the secrets of good and evil. Who, under the apprenticeship of Anne Margaret, the White Witch, learned the real secret of Anne Margaret's wisdom and faith, and finally learned to accept the love of Robin Pender. In this fast-moving novel, Mary Calhoun captures the mood and spirit of life on the Cornish coast in the 16th century. She subtly evokes parallels between some of the young people of that century and youth today, puzzled by misplaced values and a striving for something to believe in. That sounds boring. Hopefully it's better than that. Bedbugs by Ben H. Winters. I have also been really curious about this, but then I actually did experience bedbugs and never wanted to pick this up while that was happening. Got him at a motel. I think I was at some sort of funeral and stayed at a cheap motel. Or it was a wedding. I don't know. Susan and Alex Wendt have found their dream apartment. Sure, the landlady is a little eccentric, and the elderly handyman drops some cryptic remarks about the basement. but the rent is so low it's too good to pass up. Big mistake. Susan soon discovers that her new home is crawling with bedbugs. Or is it? She awakens every morning with fresh bites, but neither Alex nor their daughter Emma has a single welt. An exterminator searches the property and turns up nothing. The landlady insists her building is clean. Susan fears she's going mad until a more sinister explanation presents itself. She may literally be confronting the bedbug problem from hell. This is the writer of Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters. I used to own that. I donated it to my little free library. I have something that I got out of my little free library, and that is The Trap by Tabitha King. And I'm a little worried that this is not something that I want to read, but Olivia and Pat appear to be the perfect couple. They are young, seemingly devoted, with 2 beautiful children and fulfilling careers. She as a gifted artist, he as a promising screenwriter. But now Liv's marriage is coming apart and she does not quite know why. She has become a prisoner of her husband's ambitions and her wifely responsibilities. She is being forced to choose between the only way of life she loves and feels secure in, and one that appears alien and threatening, with a husband she no longer feels she knows. To think and to kill herself, she goes with her young son in the dead of winter to their family cottage in a now deserted Maine summer community. It is there, in the one place Liv has always felt safe, that brutality and cruelty come into her life. 3 young hoodlums on a vicious treasure hunt through empty vacation houses have discovered their ultimate prize, and they have her trapped. So that's why I'm like not convinced that I'm actually gonna like it, because I'm like into supernatural stuff, but like real human stuff I'm less into. So those are the books. There's probably some other books on my shelves that are like fall associated, that I just don't know. But these all seemed to be at least on the spooky side. So I might read these this season and I also might not. We will see. I expect at least some of these will be read by the end of September.